number 2 now. There we go. On YouTube, and I apologize for the delay in getting that back up. Again, it's been one of those days. Technology has not been my friend this morning. So, I want to start here talking about George Floyd. I referenced it a couple times during the first hour. We didn't get into it because I had a interview with Dr. David Samadi. And by the way, I think it's a good interview. There's some information there. He's talking, he shared some medical insight on hydroxychloroquine. We talked about COVID. We talked about a second wave. And if you missed that interview, you can always go through our archives. It was hour 1 of today's program. And you can also go, I post our interviews. Now, that's not there just yet, but our interview, I will post that on our website at toddhuffshow.com. You can just search our interviews there, and you can take a listen. But also, I email these things out to our email subscribers. You can subscribe for free. It's in our newsletter. So usually I include maybe one of our weekly interviews. You can subscribe by going to toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text the word Huff, Huff, to 31996. So let's talk about George Floyd, and let's talk about what's happened as I'm watching here in the background on Fox News, some arson and looting and violence and all of this. So there's multiple things to talk about here. We've got the initial situation with George Floyd. Again, he was detained by police in Minneapolis on, I believe it was Monday. And they originally said that he was resisting arrest. And so they ended up cuffing him. And at some point he's laid down in the street, and an officer has his knee on the back and or side. It's really the back, not straight on the spinal area, but like between the back and the side, I guess. And he's holding him down. But it didn't look to me from that video that he was doing anything. But of course, when you see the first video, you think, I don't know what led up to that, right? I don't know what led up to that. Maybe he was fighting, resisting, and once you do that, once you cross that line, officers will take steps to, they don't really give you an opportunity to resist or to give them any more fuss. But that doesn't appear from the other videos to have been what happened. In fact, even if it had, let me say this, even if it had, watching the video, there's bystanders, if you can imagine, bystanders on the sidewalk that are filming the officer on Mr. Floyd's neck. And he's saying, I can't breathe at some point. He's pleading with them to get off his neck. He eventually, he passes out. He's not moving. The people on the street are telling the cops, you're murdering, you're killing this guy. The cops, there's a cop that's on his neck, and there's another cop between the bystanders and the officer and Mr. Floyd, who's on the ground at that point. And they're pleading, begging, getting upset, just trying to get him to get off of Mr. Floyd. And they're saying, you're going to kill the guy. He's not moving. He's not posing a threat. He's not resisting any arrest. So even if he was earlier, if he was resisting arrest earlier, which I'll talk about that in a moment, it doesn't appear that he was, by the way, from the video, the surveillance camera from one of the stores along the street. But anyway, so that's happening. Even if he was resisting arrest, it seems to me, again, I always want to be cautious here because there's things that we do not know. But it just seems to me that the officer should have changed. There had to have been something else that they could have done. Although I did hear on the video, I think he said we tried to put him in the car, but he resisted. I don't know that there's video evidence of that. Maybe there's things still that aren't being released. I don't know. So I want to be careful here. We've been We've been misled by when you're dealing with a lying media, deceitful professional deceivers, this is, I think, the consequence. And we're skeptical about everything. And I'm not just saying of Mr. Floyd in the sense that we should presume he was doing something bad. We just need to presume that maybe the officers, maybe there's something that we don't know either. And so, it doesn't look good. Trump's calling for the DOJ, Department of Justice, to come in and investigate this. And, quickly, he says, quickly investigate this. And I probably a very wise move given what we know at this particular point. The 4 officers have been fired. So we've got that tragic, terrible situation. It's tragic, by the way, even if he was resisting arrest. I understand some people, there are consequences if, and I'm not saying he was, if there's resisting arrest, officers have to be able to protect themselves and all that. But there's a mentality that says, hey, if someone does it, it's still tragic is my point. But it doesn't appear that that's what happened. It doesn't appear that's what happened. That it's tragic no matter what. But I don't want to say extra tragic, but now it's problematic to see what we have seen so far. Now, again, maybe there's more information, some other video, some other explanation here. But from what we've seen, it's a problem. In fact, you have people now like Judge Napolitano on Fox News saying that these officers should be arrested. I think he may have even said and charged with murder, at least potentially anyway. And so now on top of all, so that's the situation. Now there's all of the, I guess, the spinoff of this, the consequences or the results of this, which includes rioting in the city of Minneapolis. I think I've seen elsewhere there's been at least protests, and I think some that have turned into riots as well. You've got fires burning in the city of Minneapolis. You've got people walking into stores, running into stores, taking whatever they want and running out. So it's just one big mess. And so you've got, obviously there's anger, right? There's legitimate anger as to what happened here. There's also, then there's this, there are certainly examples of police doing things they shouldn't have done. There are certainly examples of police brutality. That being said, a lot of the I got to be careful here. There's more than one that we've been told was an example of brutality that wasn't. It wasn't. And Michael Brown is one example. But these things get lumped in, right? In fact, some of the protesters in Minneapolis are chanting some of the things. I think they're even chanting at times, "Hands up, don't shoot," which is, again, a myth. Had been even the Eric Holder Justice Department stopped perpetrating that as what actually happened. So you've got all this, you've got pent-up frustration, anger, and rage towards the police, especially from certain cities or in regards to examples of police harming black citizens. And look, again, we've conflated some of those things because there's certainly examples of police using deadly force when they were justified. There are examples of police not using deadly force when it's not justified. And so there's all this emotion and anger, and now we've got the city of Minneapolis really burning in many places, in multiple places. Seen video this morning. So again, that it's a messy situation. There's multiple angles on how to discuss this. The actual incident itself, which again is terrible, horrific, and tragic. And I still think that we need to, again, wait for things to come in. It's been almost 2 years now that I served on. I reference this from time to time because it really, serving on on a jury has the potential of really being something that you'll never forget. And that's what my experience was. I was selected to be a juror on a case that involved the death of a 5-year-old boy. 5-year-old boy who had, he had disabilities, and it was horrific what this kid endured and lived through. And so I remember very early on, actually, I think during the jury selection process, the defense attorney actually shared with the jurors that were being considered for selection a text between the gentleman who was on trial, which was not technically the stepfather, but the live-in boyfriend of the mom of the boy. So he was by default the father figure, at least the stepfather sort of individual in the home. And he shared some of the text that he sent to the mother of this young boy named Brayson. And it's just, it immediately made this guy look awful. And he basically said, is it necessarily true that someone that would say this in a text killed him, like killed this boy? Because it was the trial was actually conspiracy to commit murder. It wasn't actually a murder trial. They couldn't determine, I think, which of the two did this, so they charged them with conspiracy. We convicted. The reason I bring this up is because there were people who said, anyone who's accused of killing a child is guilty. I listened to these folks as I was in the juror. So this was during the selection process, open process for anyone in that courtroom. And, my answer is no. I mean, not necessarily, right? I mean, he may be a terrible, awful, horrible human being, but that doesn't in and of itself mean that he was guilty. And so I just remember going through the process of sitting on that jury. Folks, I was the last one to come to a guilty verdict. And part of it was because, some of those folks in the jury with us or with me, I thought were very thoughtful, and they came to that conclusion. Other folks, concerns me how they made that judgment. Some of the things that, not that they look, everyone has their own process, and nothing was done wrong. It was just, to me, I wanted to be extra cautious, especially when I listened to some of the rationale. I'm just thinking that just doesn't do it for me, right? My point is that I feel the same way about this, and it's not just because they're police, because police officers, law enforcement officers can commit crimes. I've shared this before, and you know this. No matter what group of people you take, there's no group of people that are without fault. Within any group of people, there is, a big enough group, whether they're white, black, whether they're Hispanic, whether they're Christian, atheist, Jewish, Muslim, within any group of people, there are people who are, again, big enough population, rapists, murderers, thieves, and the like, right? No group is immune to that. Now, I will say that there's ideological groups that attract more of that, especially if they're proclaiming things like there is no right and wrong, and that there's not a morality and this kind of stuff. If they're teaching, an ideological group is teaching people to be able to basically give themselves an excuse to do bad things, I think you would find that people would give themselves an excuse to do bad things. But I'm talking about just, groups of identity, right? Race, gender, ethnicity, religion, what have you. There's or groups of professionals, whether it's law enforcement, attorneys, doctors. There's bad people in every group, terrible people in every group. And so it's certainly possible that that someone in law enforcement committed these crimes without saying that law enforcement is bad as a whole. There may be problems even in some departments. And there may, some of these things need to be looked into. Justice matters. And so anyway, this is sad for me to talk about. Again, I feel a little bit vulnerable in the sense that I don't have all the information, and I'm just trying to, you see the fallout. I read the headline this morning that someone else has been killed in the ensuing violence from this. So now we have another death. I haven't seen specifically what that is because I didn't see that until this morning when I was actually talking on the show. So I've not been able to read up on that. Anyway, tragic, terrible circumstance. Awful thing to have to talk about. Does not give anyone a free pass to commit other violence, to steal things. That has no bearing on reality at all. I think that is, I understand the protest. I understand even some very intense situations and anger towards police. I get all that. I don't understand burning down buildings. I don't understand looting. I don't understand using that as an opportunity to go steal something, a big screen TV or whatever for your home. Anyway, really, really long in this segment. Got to take a break. Quick timeout, come back and continue here. Again, streaming hour number 2 on YouTube. But if you're watching us, I humbly ask that you subscribe to our channel as well as we continue to try to reach more and more people through these other channels, social media being one of those. So that being said, long in this segment. Next segment's going to be a lot shorter. Apologize for getting off track here, but this is something I wanted to get to in one full segment without kind of breaking it up. So that being said, got to take a time out. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Are you an electrician, plumber, or handyman looking for an 8-to-5 job that pays you what you're worth? Copper Ridge Home Services wants you. Our veteran-owned family business offers holiday pay, weekends off, and on-site training for entry-level positions. Our team is growing, so if you have a can-do attitude, we want you to be part of that growth. Ready for a change? Give Copper Ridge a call at 317-839-6100. That's 317-839-6100. Copper Ridge Home Services. We value your time.
Outside of the federal government, no one likes losing money. Any amount of money, not just the $6 billion the State Department lost. And what makes losing money worse is knowing that we could have done something to stop it. Well, if you have an inefficient furnace, a toilet that won't stop running, or a leaky faucet, you can do something about it. You can call the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Call 317-831-5279 or visit economyheatingandair.com.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Welcome back. So I think I will say a couple more things about this. Just, one of the things that we're lacking as a society, this is not directed at anyone in particular, like any group or anyone in this audience, but just in general, we lack this. It's become so politically divisive in this country on a myriad of issues that we've lost, I think, again, just as a culture or maybe certain groups or I don't know, just we've lost our humanity, I think, in a lot of ways. We've lost our humanity. In the sense, we've lost the ability to be sympathetic, I think, and I think there's a lot of reasons for this. We understand how we're being manipulated by the news media. In fact, I see something here on TV that I saw yesterday. I've forgotten about this. There's a Katie Tour on MSNBC, who, by the way, I was invited to be on her program a couple of years ago, and it was the day Hurricane Michael hit the panhandle of Florida, so they canceled everything to talk about that. But she had a reporter in, I don't know what state it was, but so you have a reporter wearing a mask, and he's showing people walking around in this open, it's an outdoor area. There were a decent amount of people, but from what I saw, it wasn't like everyone was shoulder to shoulder, but anyway, he was basically doing a report about how people were ignoring the request for masks and all this kind of stuff. Well, someone started filming his crew, and the crew didn't have masks on. At least some of them didn't. So the guy is literally on TV with the mask telling his cameraman, who did not have a mask on, just think about this. He was telling actually his audience through the camera that the cameraman was holding. He was saying how terrible all these people were. And not only that, at one point he walks up to his cameraman and touches him on the arm. Of course, we can't touch, right? We can't touch. He goes up and touches him on the arm for him to get a shot of something else. So cameraman's not wearing a mask. The one on camera was the anchor, the field reporter, whatever you call these jokers. He's out there. So you talk about, this is the definition of fake news. It is. It's fake news. That's just totally fabricated. He's feigning outrage over something that quite literally the one person in the world he's looking at on the other side of the camera is doing the same thing as everybody else, but yet he's feigning outrage over those walking around the street. My only point in bringing that up is I know there's anger, there's angst, we're sick of that, right? We're sick of that. We're sick of being told things that aren't true. We're sick of having things misrepresented to us. We're sick of fake news. We're sick of these liars and professional deceivers. We're sick of it. We've also seen how they handle some circumstances like Michael Brown, right? I mean, that to me, that's the pinnacle of irresponsibility, the way that they covered that. And so I think it's easy for some people to jump to the conclusion and and think, automatically the police are being misrepresented. I don't take it that way at all. I think we should be cautious. I think we should be cautious of anything we're told, because these jokers are deceivers, just like this guy with the mask I was telling you about that maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't. But they're professional deceivers. This is reprehensible what they do, but this is how they behave. This is, I would say, who they are. And so I think it's created a visceral reaction from people to where when they hear the media tell us something, the first reaction is to think it's a bunch of hooey, BS, right? Just to think it's just not true, or it's exaggerated or whatever. And I think in that process, I believe that we lose a little bit to where we've maybe witnessed, in this case with George Floyd, he died. He died because of action taken by a police officer. Now, whether that's what that justifies as far as results from criminal charges and so forth, that's to be determined and all of that. But, the camera shows that this guy's, basically pleading for his eventual life. Again, maybe there's something else. I'm open to misinterpreting or not having all the information, because, again, I'm kind of used to that with how the media handles these things. But based upon what we've seen, this is just this should trouble us, and we should not forget in this fight, right? Whether or not Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, or whatever of course Black Lives Matter, of course Blue Lives Matter, all lives matter, right? And how we get to these talking points and narratives and screaming. I think this illustrates, and I'm as a conservative Christian, this particularly gets my attention, because when all the dust settles here, that's why I said at the last segment that this is tragic, because it's the loss of life. Even if, and I'm not suggesting this was the case, but even in a case where an officer uses deadly force, it's still tragic. Even if the person did something to warrant an officer using deadly force, which is not the case here, just to be clear, it's still tragic. And I think we've lost culturally, or at least we've become numb to, this sense of humanity. And so that's something I just want to share with you this segment. Just something that I think we would all be better off if collectively more people would embrace that reality and not lose that sense of humanity, not jump to politics. Just a lot of the stuff that we deal with, I think, is just being, instead of looking at it through the political lens, which of course it's inevitable, but first and foremost, we should fight our darndest to make sure we view it through the lens of our humanity. And so it's a tragic situation. So anyway, going to move on after this next timeout, get into some other things in the news, but I wanted to share that as well. So quick timeout. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter. To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Hi, I'm Greg Hubler from Greg Hubler Chevrolet. You know, a promise can get lost in a big city, but in a smaller town, a promise made had better be a promise kept. That's why the Greg Hubler Promise covers every vehicle we sell. All new Chevys receive a 3-year, 45,000-mile scheduled maintenance, plus complimentary roadside assistance and a free car wash with every visit. A promise made is a promise kept. Stop by Greg Hubler Chevy today or visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in Central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS, too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Welcome back. So, I referenced before the break. Gotta love this. Gotta love the what do I want to say? The deceitful, the disingenuous nature of the media, the way that they covered. I'm trying to find exactly. I'm going through. I got a long list of stuff here that I wanted to get to today. Of course, as usual, I can't get to all of it. In fact, I can't get even to most of it. I'm trying to find this story though, where MSNBC, where they were when they when they were doing a report. Here it is. Here it is. Found this on the Daily Caller yesterday. Let me read this to you. I referenced it last segment really quickly, but here's what it says. Bystander points out maskless MSNBC cameraman during segment about people not wearing masks. Oh my goodness. An MSNBC reporter reporting on the scarcity of people wearing masks while enjoying the outdoors in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, that's where it was interrupted by a passerby who pointed out another maskless individual, his own cameraman. The Deadline White House segment aired on Memorial Day afternoon as Americans enjoyed a day off and fresh air. MSNBC's Katie Tour introduced Calipari as, quote, one of the only people wearing a mask and practicing social distancing in the area. Turns out she was more correct than she imagined. They got the clip here. Perry insisted that social distancing measures restaurants had put in place in the area are not really working. As you said, not a lot of face coverings here, he said. So it's incredible. These people, the degree that this guy should, I'm telling you, like I am a Christian. People need to be forgiven. Like I believe in that. I'm a believer of that. But it doesn't mean if you have a propensity to get in front of a camera and to tell just an outright lie, deceiving people. Now obviously there were people walking around without masks, but to feign the outrage about it when your own cameraman, it's not like he didn't notice this. And again, not only did the cameraman violate the mask order, which again, what the heck does that even mean? You know, somewhere along the way we've forgotten, I heard Judge Napolitano talking about this earlier. Governors don't make laws. This may be earth-shattering if a lover of big government is tuned in this morning, but governors don't make laws, folks. They don't. Governors are the chief executives of states in the sense of that they're leading the state's executive branch. Legislatures write laws, Congress, the state house, your House of Representatives, your, Senate, whether federal, state level, whatever. These are the folks that write laws, not governors. So this idea that, again, that someone has to wear a mask because the governor says it. I understand that there's executive powers, especially in time of crisis, but folks, how long can the time of crisis go on? And not only that, but what defines it? I mean, at some point we have to say, simply because something might happen, and I'm looking at the looters running out through the stores here, but just because someone says something might happen doesn't mean they have carte blanche authority over every aspect of your life to do whatever it is that they want to do, to make you wear a mask or whatever. But anyway, he's out here on the streets in Wisconsin, basically shaming people for not wearing masks. Someone grabs their cell phone and says, hey, your cameraman's not wearing a mask. And not only that, he was also criticizing this journalist. He was criticizing people for not following social distancing policies, and he's touching his cameraman. Now, again, this all falls in to the same category as these governors that I've talked about the past, couple of days, maybe even couple of weeks. It all falls into that same category, which is do as I say, not as I do, right? They want to talk about what you should do, but yet they don't feel like that applies to them. Major problem. It's not just governors, it's politicians of all sorts. It is, in fact, really, in my opinion, the hallmark of what it means to be a liberal, right? It's the same thing when people complain about the people are more concerned many times, leftists are, with how an individual spends his or her money than how the government spends our collective money. Right? They think this person needs to give more money to the government. They need to be taxed more. They don't need that yacht or second business or, they don't need a nice car, whatever it is. They don't need to. People act like, individuals like Warren Buffett just have a bank account with $65 billion in it or something. It's not the way that it works. It's in a multiple places. It's in places that help other Americans with jobs. It's in places that help other Americans with, if Warren Buffett pulled all of his money out of the markets, we would notice that. To some, level, of course. There's a lot of investors and so forth out there and a lot of wealth, but we would take notice of that, right? And so there are realities that the wealthy. It's not just. And by the way, even if they were just putting it in a bank account and saying I'm going to spend it later, I don't really know why we think it's our business. Anyway, but there's this double standard, right? It's always about what the person talking wants you to do, what you should do with your money, what you should do with whether or not you wear a mask, whether or not you should be locked in your home, whatever. And the media does it, as we see with this I don't know what I want to call him, this pretend journalist here. The vast majority pretend journalists. But you see it from journalists, you see it from governors, you see it from other people that want to tell you how to live, how to behave. They want to go up to the podiums, they want to go up to the large tables in front of the cameras to tell you every specific thing you need to do, how you need to cover your sneeze and cough, how many times you need to wash your hands a day, how many feet you stay apart from somebody else. I mean, it's crazy at some point. Doesn't mean that there's nothing there worth learning. But now they want to enact this by... they want to enforce this. How are you going to do this? Well, you send a cameraman out there and you expose people. You shame them from wearing masks. But the problem is your own cameraman's not wearing a mask, and you're violating social distance policies yourself. Anyway, hypocrites, double standard, professional deceivers. More to say on the issues of the day when we get back, but I got to take a time out. Sit tight. Be back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
I love my community, and I wanted to do more to make a difference with my hard-earned dollars. I wanted to make an impact and help shape our future and our county. So I gave money to the Community Foundation of Morgan County. More than just charitable giving, the money I donate is tracked and measured so every dollar is held accountable. It's a social return on your investment. Why don't you join me in donating at cfmconline.org? That's cfmconline.org. Philanthropy with measurable impact.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at zuluscape.com.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Hi, my name is John Swadner, Sales Director of the Todd Huff Show. As a listener of the program, you know the show is growing. 4 years ago, it began as a podcast in a closet. Today, it's a 2-hour show that airs during morning drive in Indy and in Utah, and we're just scratching the surface. Todd brought me on board to help the show and our advertisers grow. That's why I'm specifically looking for partners who are a good fit to advertise with us. Would that be you? To learn more about what advertising would look like and to determine if it's a good fit for your business, shoot me an email to john@toddhuffshow.com. And be sure to ask me about some of our special packages that will save you up to 40%. Email john@toddhuffshow.com. Shoot me an email today.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid, was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Welcome back. You know, the madness does not stop. Reading here, another example of this, Daily Wire. Non-essential store opened during lockdown to sell Democrat Governor Grisham. Lujan? I don't know how to pronounce her first name. Lujan Grisham. Jewelry report says. New Mexico Democrat Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham reportedly received special treatment, here we go, after she issued lockdown orders and shut down non-essential businesses last month in response to the coronavirus pandemic, when a non-essential business opened up to sell her, quote, expensive jewelry. KRQE news anchor Jessica Garrett, Garate, reported late Tuesday evening that Lujan Grisham called an employee at Lily Barrick to buy expensive jewelry. The jewelry was bought over the phone, but the employee went to the store, got the jewelry, and placed it outside the door of the store where someone who knew the governor picked it up. Garrett reported. This is according to the person who runs Lily Barrick stores. She says she didn't know about it until after it happened. She also said no one was allowed in the stores at that time due to the public health order. This is just fantastic. I'm telling you, this is the nature. This is how it works, folks. They give decrees, they give edicts, they give commands. You comply, or you find your business. I saw on Fox earlier this gym in New Jersey. The health department actually went in, according to Fox, and changed the locks. They changed the locks on the business doors. Based on what? They changed the locks, locked them down. Meanwhile, and I know it's a different state, but you can see these heavy-handed, out-of-control actions taken by governors, by extension their health departments, right? Another reason why we shouldn't give these health departments so many rules to enforce, because the more rules there are to enforce, the more likely you're to find a rule breaker. Ergo, you can shut people down for it. So they changed the locks. This lady, the governor of New Mexico, I'll let you guess the political party here, but the governor of New Mexico says, hey, you can't open if you're a jewelry store. You're non-essential. Don't you dare open. But, I need to buy some jewelry. So let me call in a favor from the jewelry store and have them meet me there or drop it off outside or whatever. Does this sound right to you? This should enrage people, folks. There should be political consequences for this. And I've seen it from both sides of the aisle. You've heard me talk about Holcomb going down here in Indiana, going down to Brown County. Again, there was a governor's residence there. So, but again, whatever. I don't care. That's fine. Whatever. I'm not sure that they quote unquote deserve that. I'm just saying, fine, whatever. But you can't go down there. You should not go down there simply for the optics of this, or based upon the optics, when you're telling other people they can't camp at Brown County or other state parks because of the dangers of transmitting COVID. It's just tone deaf. It's arrogant. It's elitist. It just is. Anyway, got to take a time out. Listening to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change Counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, president of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. Welcome back. Again, this is just the nature. This is one of the reasons that the founders wanted limited government. Just one of the tiny, well, I don't want to call it tiny, but one of the many, how about that? One of the many reasons that the founders wanted limited government, because you get to the point where the government's too powerful, right? The government officials are known for saying how much they want to just be a public servant. Oh, I want to be a public servant. Again, yesterday we talked about how many of them are willing to take a pay cut during this, while the business community suffers, while there's how many millions of Americans who are unemployed now or will be soon unemployed because of the COVID consequences that our government has created, folks. There's multiple reasons to be in favor of small government, of limited government. But one of these, I should say, is the reaction that we've seen with governors all over the country in these power grabs and arrogant actions and so forth. Anyway, out of time for the day, guys. Thanks for listening. SDGC tomorrow. Take care.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the